Here she is, our professional organizer, Amy Payne, and she's going to try to help us get kind of back into the school routine. Summertime's been more relaxed, so now it's time to get it together.
It's always time to get it together, Angie.
It is. That's why we have you here. So what are some of the challenges families face when they're trying to get into a routine?
Right. Okay, so we're a couple weeks into school, right? And now we're getting to the point where you're like, okay, it was fine to have some chaos the first week or so, but we're ready to settle in.
Yeah.
Got to get things done, got to get the kids out the door. So I'm a huge proponent of setting up structured routines in the household. When kids know what to expect, they're more likely to follow it. That doesn't mean they're always going to follow it, but
or happily,
right?
But not necessarily
exactly.
happily.
It is a training process, so it takes time for everyone in the family to get used to following some sort of a routine.
Right. Well, how do you suggest they do that, though? Okay, how to get everybody on board?
Right. So I brought samples today. These are from when my kids were little. My kids are older now, so I'm sure I could do a fancier job at this point. But when my kids were little, we had this. This was our morning routine, and it was pictures. So before they can even read, you put cute little pictures that show getting dressed, getting your shoes, making your bed. Think about your routines. Think about what can we do as part of our routine that will help our household get everybody to school on time, make sure everybody has shoes, clothes, make sure we have clean laundry, make sure their rooms get picked up, the toys get picked up, and everything gets done in the course of a day.
How'd that work?
It worked really well, actually, and instead of me nagging or trying, I had 3 little boys all in a row, so trying to keep track of who had done what when, my brain just couldn't hold all of that information.
And whose shoes were whose.
Exactly. They all wore almost the same size clothes, and so it was easier to point them back to that routine, to that chart that we would hang up on the wall, and I would say, you look at the chart and you tell me if you've done everything on there or
So
not.
was it one chart, or did you put it in each room? Where did you post it?
So these cute little charts with the pictures, I actually hung up like by their bathroom, and that way in the morning, and then this was our evening one. So in the morning and the evening, they each had their chart, and then it was one chart for all the kids when they were little bitty. This is pictures, so it's little bitty kids. When they got older, then each kid had a customized checklist, and this was morning, after school, and bedtime. And then there's certain things that only needed to be done a certain day of the week, like maybe the trash only needed to be taken to the curb one day a week instead of every single day. So the check boxes would show them which chore needed to be done which day of the week.
You would be great at HR. Scheduling, air traffic control. Yeah.
Now, with that kind of a chart, I actually would laminate it like I did with this checklist. I would laminate it, and then they would take a dry erase marker, and they would mark off what they had done, and then I based their allowance money on how much of the stuff on the chore chart that are on their list. I didn't like to call it a chore chart, right?
Right.
It was their routines. This is what we do. And one of my strategies with all the kids living in my house, whether it's been a friend of one of my kids living in my house or not, everybody has to chip in. There's no child too young to start doing some kind of a chore.
Sure, absolutely.
Can you match these socks? Or can you carry this little, or drag this little laundry basket down the hall? Or can you pick up your toys? So before they can read, using pictures and labels on everything helps tremendously. And then as they're able to read and as they're able to do more, you give them more and more responsibility. Okay, now your clothes are folded. Can you go put your shirts in the shirt drawer? Can you put your pants in the pants drawer? But having the consistency of them not wondering, oh, what's mom going to make me do today? Created a lot less argument of, I've already laid out exactly what's required. This is my favorite list, and I actually even just used this. My son left for college, and I used this before he left for college again. This checklist is my standards. When I say clean your room, what do I mean by that? Because they would say, well, you didn't say I had to whatever. So this actually goes into, this is what I expect. No toys, no food, no trash on the floor. None on the desk, none in the dresser, and none on the shelves in the closet. It's that detailed.
On that happy note from this very talented mother, thank you, Amy, for being here. Appreciate it.